So before we get into tonight's PTC Movie Club episode, I want to make one point that I don't think I've made on the podcast before, but I want to take the time right now to make it because I was thinking this today when I watched the movie, the second half of the movie, which is the three of you have so much power over my life when it comes to the movies that I watch because I don't watch movies. So I just want to make it clear that like there are so many gaps in movies I haven't seen in cinema I haven't ingested. And this is where we're at. Like this is what we're doing. So whenever anyone wants to give me shit about the movies that I haven't seen, which are most movies, just revert back to this. Revert back to the fact that
Listen, I've had pretty consistent style picks for mine, at least. I mean, I pick all my favorite movies basically. Not that you like them or not, but you know.
yeah,
That's a fair point.
well, I'm not sure about that, but I mean they're good movies for you, but sure. And Mike, your picks are sometimes all over the place.
Yeah, but I'm okay with that.
Listen, I'm fine with it too. I'm just saying for those out there, and even the three of you, if someone wants to question the movies that I've seen, here you go. The
I'm
power
really
isn't.
having a hard time with my pick for the next one for October because originally I was like, no, I'm not picking like a fucking horror movie or anything. And then I'm like, oh, you know what? I'm going to pick a Halloween based movie, not necessarily a horror movie or anything. And I was like, I feel like I have to. I feel like this is the month you have to do something like that.
I mean, you don't
But
have
yeah,
to wait till we get to December because we're not picking a holiday movie. I can't
if I
reveal.
had
I can't
December,
reveal that information yet because I think
oh,
we already
You're not
spoke
doing
about the
Santa
movie.
Claus?
We're not doing the Santa
I mean,
Claus.
I would do Gremlins if I had December. That would be my pick.
That is a good pick. Yeah.
That would
Is
100%
it
be
a
my
good
pick.
pick though, or is that just like
Oh no, that movie's great.
yeah? But is it a good pick though, or is that like a cliche pick? That's like
It's
that's like picking Die
Christmas
Hard.
movie.
Yeah, but that's like picking Die Hard, is it not?
I feel like Gremlins is underappreciated in the Christmas movie category. I mean, like not probably for. I mean, I'm sure like we've all seen it, but I feel like it's always Home Alone. It's always like
Listen,
Christmas
you're
Story.
getting ahead of yourself right now because when we get to
Yeah, I know.
December, we can just have a whole segment where we talk about the best and worst holiday movies if you want. We don't have to necessarily watch a holiday movie. We can just talk
Would
about
we
that one
would we
week.
all agree on Christmas Vacation as the best?
As far as like an actual holiday movie, I think
Yeah,
it's up there for sure.
yeah,
Or if you're talking like specifically Christmas movies, yeah, I think it would.
yeah. Specifically
I
Christmas
think it's
movies.
definitely near that tippity top. I don't really know what else would.
I would put Home Alone up there too. In
I don't
the
really
what
care
else?
for Home Alone.
I put Gremlins up there. But you don't like Home Alone? I love
Yeah,
so good.
I don't know. I don't know if part of my thoughts on Home Alone is because I had a Super Nintendo game that was fucking terrible.
Oh, it was so bad. I had that game too. It was so bad.
Uh,
You had to like search like sock drawers and everything, and like then you'd go like you'd have to get out of the room and you're like dodging traps and everything.
yeah,
I remember that game very clearly.
I actually had both Home Alone games. I don't know if the other one was the Sega Genesis game or they were both on both, but there was one game where it was like a side scroller that was terrible, and the other game, I don't know, rose tinted glasses. Thinking back, I think it was not a bad game,
What was the
but
other one? Which one do you remember playing?
I believe the other one was you had to set up traps before they burglars came in to rob you. You had to
I'll look this up right now.
like prep the house. If I'm remembering it correctly, I don't know. I believe there's two Home Alone games, unless I'm just talking out of my ass. I had a game where
Two
that
Home Alone movies. There's
there,
4 Home Alone movies.
yeah. Do all four of them
Just
have
four?
Macaulay Culkin?
No, actually, no.
No,
Are we up to
it's the
5
first
now?
one.
I feel like we're up to 5.
Aren't they rebooting
No,
it?
Macaulay Culkin's in the first 2.
Isn't there a new one coming?
Yeah.
Yeah, Culkin's in the first 2. Scarlett Johansson's in the third one. And I forget what happened in 4.
As the child, like as the person
No,
that's
she's
Home
like
Alone.
she's the older sister of the child.
Interesting.
Yeah, I had Home Alone on Super Nintendo, the first one.
Yeah, they are fucking all bad. They every single one of them. I don't think I owned
Yeah.
both of them. I think one of my friends had the other one, and I'd play it at his house. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, can we put Donkey Kong Country in? What are we doing right now? What the fuck are we doing right now? Anyways, Welcome, everyone, to the Pass Control Podcast, a show where a couple of best friends talk about the latest in video games and nerd culture. Sometimes we have guests, sometimes we talk about Home Alone too much. Either way, we have a new episode for you each and every week. As always, I'm your host, Brenden, and joining me on this lovely evening is the anime senpai himself. He's so money and he doesn't even fucking know it, Mr. Michael Zier. Mike, how are you doing tonight?
Yeah, you know.
Did you partake in any of those beverages yet that I gave you?
No, and that was a very heavy bag for me to be
I
bringing
know. I kind of like when you left. I was like, I probably gave Mike way too much shit. Like, that was a full bag.
I
It
should
was
just
a- it
drop
was
them
a
off shit
bag.
too at this point, because like it just goes to waste half the time. I end up throwing like 90% of my stuff in the trash.
I mean, I just had like, stuff. I had stuff in my car that I knew Mike would at least try, but I think he would probably like most of it. So
Yeah, so like I rode away with him like this is a pretty heavy bag, and then I had to go up my hill. I'm like this was
yeah, it's a workout, Mike. I'm trying to get you fit. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get you fit and thick.
for who?
For me,
what?
for me. For your cats too. That way, when they hop up on your lap, they're like, "Oh damn, Mike's got these fucking pillowy quads now." Just nestle in there.
This got weird. Go introduce somebody else.
And I got Mike a couple of Happy Dads too. I'm curious what he thinks of it.
Oh
Anyways,
yeah, drink that right now. Do a full send.
All right, Sunday night. Who cares?
jeez, Mike's going off the deep end. Also joining us this evening is the I almost also called you the anime senpai, which
Yes.
I mean, I don't know. Todd might at this current point, if we were to like put the rankings out there between the four of us, Todd might actually be the second anime watcher in the group currently, because I haven't watched anime in a bit, unless Dom's the sleeper pick, unless Dom's been like,
What's everything?
he's like on the 8th arc of One Piece or something. Todd must be the guy, because Todd's been cranking through One Punch
Yeah, I
Man
gotta
and My Hero
gotta get
Macadamia
through-
Nut and
No, I gotta watch. I gotta get back to Attack on Titan because I was like ripping through that, and yeah, I just haven't had a chance. I haven't watched any TV. Tried watching Free Guy last night. Watched like the first 45 minutes, and we both fell asleep.
oh, is it streaming now?
Watch that still.
I bought it. It's on iTunes.
You
It's like $20.
you bought a movie?
It's like the same. Yeah, I think I bought it. I don't know.
But anyways, the V-Bug villain, Todd Gary, is here tonight. I never actually said your name. We just started talking about anime for some reason.
Oh.
How are you doing tonight, Todd?
I'm good. I'm ready to talk about one of the best movies I've ever seen.
Hell yeah. It's a definitely my game of the year currently. Rounding us out this evening, the Disney daddy, the Pixar poppy, the Marvel dad. I don't fucking know. I gave up. I
I thought you were gonna just commit to like the Marvel mother. I'm like, yeah, all right. That's fine.
I mean,
Fair.
I don't know. What else they own? The ESPN. I don't know.
I'm here.
He's here. Dom's here. Dom 40. How are you, what's your take, Dom, for the sports fans in our listenership? Brady about to come home to play against the Patriots tonight. What do you think is going to happen? Are you hopeful for the Patriots tonight?
I think it'll be a great game played by all.
I don't know if Dom's being honest there. Do you
I just
think
want everyone to have fun.
you think the
Yeah,
Pats
absolutely.
defense is going to play in a specific way to just try to keep Brady?
They'll probably just try to
Locked
keep
up.
the score down.
Yeah, I mean that's all. They
Yeah,
can
you
do.
don't think the Patriots stand a chance of actually winning this game?
No, and
The only chance that they have is to keep the score down and make
Rush
Brady
it.
run the clock down. But
Yeah.
I just want
I
to see
don't know
Brady
if they
get
can
like
do that.
standing ovations as he's coming out because everyone's going to do that.
Yeah,
So,
I think the Patriots fan base still respects Brady. Like, I don't think it's like
absolutely.
I don't think he's gonna come out to booze. I would be actually
I mean, that
shocked if he
Super
came
Bowl
out to
last year
booze.
was amazing because he was in it, like, and
Yeah.
even though he was on a different team, it was like,
Yeah, I mean, at this
Absolutely
point,
wonderful.
like, Brady's arguably one of the best, if not the best. You know what I mean? Like,
I was watching a TikTok today, and it was going back to Brady from I forget what year it was, but they were like showing all the people he played with, and it was like Randy Moss still on the Vikings, it was Vrabel, who's now a coach that he's played against. It's like every person that he was playing with like 20 years ago or so is now like coaches in the league as he's still playing and dominating.
Yep.
It's crazy.
I mean,
Welker's with the 49ers.
Yep.
mhm.
I don't know. There was somebody else
Is there
recently that they played
I
against.
should have sent it to you guys. It's crazy. It
Is
goes
there-
on for like ever too.
Is there an ex-teammate that's a coach for the Patriots, one of the assistant coaches, or a coach for the Buccaneers? Or am I making that up?
I don't know.
Yeah. Well, Mayo is a defensive coach for the Pats.
Maybe that, I don't know. I thought I forget what I was thinking about, but yeah. I mean, it should be an interesting game, or a depressing game if you're a Patriots fan, maybe. But that's neither here nor there. Before we get into tonight's episode, a couple of housekeeping things. This episode of the Pass Control Podcast is sponsored by our good friends at Goodnight Fatty. Mike, did you get cookies this week?
No, I forgot. My week was weird. My weekend was weird.
Because I didn't actually look at. I guess I can look at the flavors now. I'll do that in real time. But one of the flavors was like a dirt cup, and that was the only one where I was like, I don't know if that's something I would.
What did I say to you?
Mud pie.
Yeah, I couldn't remember what it was. I was like, what's the one that has chocolate and the gummy worm on top of it with a mud pie? What was it again?
That's okay. That's okay that you took a big mud pie and used a small square.
Never mind. I can't look up the menu because at 8:20,
Rice Krispie.
I know Rice Krispie.
Mud pie, and I don't remember what the other one was.
But it doesn't matter because I went to their site, and at 8:22 on a Sunday evening, I've never seen this splash page before. Whoa, we sold out. We'll be back next Friday.
Wow.
So there you have it.
Oh yeah, because
This
they're probably getting so
Z-Town.
much foot traffic now too.
Yeah. So
on top of what they already get.
yeah. So I mean, I don't know what else I could even say in this ad read that clearly people want these cookies. You're fucking up if you're not getting cookies. If you're in this area, you can head on down to 1 Washington Square on Friday, Saturday, or Sunday evening and get yourself something delicious, something sweet, something hot and fresh directly out of the oven, cooked fresh to order. Arguably the best cookies around, I would say. But I mean, it's October, so it's busy time here, and it's also only 8 o'clock, so get there early if you want cookies. Anyways, moving right along. This month's movie pick was Dom's. And since we are currently on the September episode, you don't need the whole spiel. The spiel is this. Dom's pick was The Country Bears. We are now going to talk about The Country Bears. So if you watched the movie, congratulations. You also wasted an hour and a half of your life. If you...
Whoa.
I watched it again today too with Liam.
You watched it twice, Todd?
Give it 2 watches. There you go. That's all you need to know.
Wow.
About this
Because,
film.
like, I know the
That's
first
all you need
watch,
to know.
like, I was like, Logan was like a huge pain in the ass that day, and I feel like I like missed some stuff in it, so I just rewatched it this time.
It's important to get all the details.
Oh, man.
just because I just threw it on the TV. Liam and Logan were dancing to some of like the music, but yeah, got them occupied.
It's not the worst pick of the year. I think Haunted Mansion might still hold that title.
I don't know,
No. I don't think so.
This
I mean,
movie
not by
is so
much. Not by
hilarious, though.
much, but...
I feel like this is like a good bad movie to watch. Like
What?
Like, this
Okay.
No.
Oh, okay.
No, hold on. Let me I think you misunderstood.
We'll make a
me on that.
definitive
I
ranking
don't
list
mean
at
that.
some
I don't
point
mean
of Dom's
good.
picks.
I mean that the movie's so ridiculous that I was like laughing at how like some of the stuff in this movie, just because like I'm like this movie's so dumb.
Okay.
Like, get up.
All right. Before we even get there, because I honestly wasn't sure how we were going to talk about this movie for an hour, but now it's very clear that...
You've got it. I don't know what you were worried about.
Whew, okay.
Plus, we can make my pick at the end if you need any time to kill.
Perfect. The Country Bears, a 2002 American musical road comedy, directed by Peter Hastings, produced by Walt Disney Pictures, and based on the Disney theme park attraction Country Bear Jamboree. Film stars Christopher Walken, Daryl Mitchell, Diedrich Bader, Alex Rocco, and Haley Joel Osment. With the voice talents of Candy Ford, James Gammon, Brad Garrett, Toby Huss, Kevin Michael Richardson, and Stephen Root. It was Disney's...
It's interesting that they said stars Haley Joel Osment and then went to list a bunch of voice actors as if Haley Joel Osment was in this movie.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was the bear.
Yeah.
He was a
But
bear.
he did the
No,
voice.
he was a
so
bear. He was
yeah,
a
okay.
bear.
It-
He was in that
He was
suit.
a bear.
It
He
was
acted so well that you didn't realize, but he was a bear.
it was Disney's second theatrical film based on an attraction at one of its theme parks, and the third overall film based on an attraction
Wait,
following
so
the.
was this before or after Haunted Mansion?
This is
This
before.
was
I don't know what the first one was.
Okay.
uh Tower of Terror was the first.
So it was the third overall film based on an attraction following the television film Tower of Terror in 1997, and the theatrical release Mission to Mars in 2000.
There you go.
It was its world premiere was on July 21st, 2002 at the El Capitan Theater in Hollywood. After that, it was released in theaters nationwide on the 26th. And it was a critical and commercial flop.
I can't believe Disney allowed this movie to come out.
Did
To be honest with
did anyone look up the budget and gross? Because I have those numbers here.
I know that it may. If I did look it up, but I do not remember what the numbers are.
So does anyone want to? I'll give the budget. The budget was a cool 35 mil. Does anyone want to make their guess on what they think this movie pulled in? Hint:
2 million.
commercial and critical flop.
2 million.
Todd's at 2 million.
That's it. So here's what I'm gonna say. With the budget of 35 mil, for it to be a commercial, even like moderate success, it has to like double, triple its budget. So I'm not necessarily saying it made 20. It could have made like 45 and still be a flop. But now that I
think
said
it
the
made
number 20
15.
outside.
So
okay,
Dom's
I
at
was gonna say
15.
20 out loud.
Todd's at 2, and Mike's at 20.
Dom's probably right.
Worldwide, 18 mil.
Ooh.
So
That
they're
movie.
Closest without going over.
Well, who are they
I was
trying
close.
to appeal to for that movie?
I was
though?
closest
Because
without
like,
going over.
because you take Haley Joel Osment.
Right rules.
I just don't understand who this movie's appealing to. Because like Christopher Walken's your go-to guy for a kids fucking movie, and like
Yeah.
there's like
well,
all
it's Haley
no-
Joel coming off of AI, right?
Was it?
Yeah, because people really loved AI that much.
I loved AI. I think that movie's fucking great. But,
I mean, I also kind of want to piggyback off Todd's point where as I'm watching this movie, I struggled to figure out who this movie is for.
who it's for?
Do kids
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
bears? Like, I don't understand. Did Liam like this movie, Todd?
No, he like was barely paying attention to it. Like the way it started.
Really paying attention. I see what you did there.
Yeah, I don't think even Logan usually if he sees something cool like fun on the TV, but I don't know.
Notice how Todd almost said cool and he recanted the word cool and said funny because
when the bears laugh at like it's so funny, they look like so like crazy and like they're gonna kill the person every single time. But,
I will say, I'm assuming these were some mix of animatronic face and like people in suits. I'm assuming is what's going on here.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if they also CGI'd the faces at any point.
doesn't look
I
like
think
it.
they're mostly animatronic.
So like probably like 30-ish minutes into the movie, all I could think of was like, all right, the bear costume outfits acting is like not bad, but also why are they wasting this technology in this movie? Like that's the type of stuff that like I love when I see something like that in like Star Wars. I'm like, oh, this is like realistic like props, like realistic character design and stuff. I like when I see that in other things. In this, the whole time, I was just like, why is this what we're doing here? But it actually, now that I'm thinking about it, it might not be animatronic because if you watch the credits, as I did, it was made by Jim Henson. So it could have just been puppeteering inside.
I mean, sure.
I don't know. I mean, we don't have to dig.
Some combination
so
of animatronic
I'm
and
pretty sure there was no CGI in it from what I'm just reading now.
So, for those of you unaware of what the country bears are,
I
outside of
saw
the
them at
movie.
Disney.
Yeah,
I actually saw them.
I've probably been to this as well, the Country Bear Jamboree. But
It was awesome.
you eat dinner in there, correct? Like it's
You
like a
do, yeah.
dinner
They have
thing.
like a whole.
No, you don't. No, you
Oh,
don't.
then I went to something
No,
else then, because I went to something in
it's
Disney
just
that like it was like
it's
a
just a
hoedown
theater.
maybe.
Yeah.
Oh, then I went to like a oh wait, I did see the Country Bears thing. Actually, I did see them too. Like you just go. It's like a you don't do anything in there. I
So
don't think. But
It's just
according to
a theater of benches.
the Disney World website, this hootenanny is a real hoot. Step inside the rustic theater known as Grizzly Hall. Oh wow, the fucking movie didn't even get the hall correct. And take your seat before the lights dim. Clap along as 18 audio animatronic hillbilly bears play and sing during this 16-minute foot-stomping celebration. Yes, they wrote celebration. You'll hear a medley of original and classic tunes, all performed by the zaniest critters in the woods. Overflowing with humor, heart, and a few surprises, this crowd-pleasing show features a down-home southern sensibility you and your cubs will love. Little fun fact. Walt Disney's Paw Prints. Country Bear Jamboree is one of the very last attractions that Walt Disney personally helped develop. Originally planned for a never-built Disney ski resort in Mineral King, California, the show with the singing bears happily moved out to Florida in 1971 and has been performing daily at Magic Kingdom Park ever since. So I'm assuming that the Jamboree then is only in Florida and not in California, it seems.
It has closed in California. It's only in Orlando and in
Japan.
Yeah, maybe. I can't remember. One of the other ones that's not in America.
So, yeah, I mean, I know I've been to this attraction at some point when I was a kid, but I couldn't tell you much about it outside of that.
It's impressive the amount of functional animatronics that have existed since 1971.
Yes. I mean, yeah, the people that work on that stuff at Disney are very talented. Like they're some of the stuff, like even some of the stuff that's like not super impressive. Like I don't know, I think actually the ride might have been redone at this point, but I don't know if I've been to it since it's been redone. But like even stuff like Pirates of the Caribbean, like I still enjoy that for what it is, even though it's like sort of basic. Just sit in a fucking boat and whatever. But I think it's been updated since Pirates of the Caribbean movies, right? I think it has.
Yeah, it has.
So the plot of this film, nothing extraordinary, but the whole time, all I'm thinking is, this is just the plot of the Muppet movies. Like it's literally the same fucking plot.
The Muppets stole the plot of the movie.
Yeah.
It's the plot of the new Muppet movie, not the 1970s Muppet movies. 1980s Muppet movies.
Oh no! Well, the Muppet movie is
That's
the
right.
Muppet movie is
That's
still
right.
way
The
better.
Muppets it doesn't matter. It's also the plot of Blues Brothers essentially. So
right.
Yeah.
I mean,
guess it's just an easy plot to work with.
yeah, I mean the plot, is what it is. It's not like that plot has been reused many times. I'm pretty sure, I can't think of one off the top of my head, but I'm almost positive I've played at least one video game where that is the plot. For the most part, maybe remove the musical element. Get the band back together, but the band is not musical people.
Yeah, this movie was made for
RPG or something.
Basically, this movie was made for deadheads. Just fucking
is
completely. I don't know who it's made for.
Yeah, I don't know who this is for, because again, you're gonna make a movie. You're gonna make the third movie based off of a ride, and
it's also weird that they picked the Country Bears as the third ride that they were going to do.
Right.
I think
it's not even a ride; it's an experience.
It's not even a ride.
Yeah. It is very bizarre to me.
They thought they had something.
I mean, maybe they did. Maybe
they had Don Henley singing fucking vocals in it. They had good people singing.
I mean, they have, I'm sure, statistics of saying like, hey, maybe the Country Bears attraction is always fucking full every fucking day. Maybe it's always full. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sure they keep track of like which of those like sit down attractions aren't getting full every day, and maybe that one's just always full.
You know what was really weird to me in this movie is the kid's room. Did you see the posters on his wall? Like what all the posters were?
So aside from the Country Bears stuff, I only noticed one other thing that stuck out to me. It was a poster for Crash Bash,
Well, yes, I
I
saw
did
that.
see Crash Bash.
Nine Inch Nails. There's like 3 Limp Bizkit posters, and I'm just like,
Yeah,
how is this-
the brother had a more non-bear centric musical taste.
Yeah, but
So
they
like
didn't share
his
rooms, did they?
posters, I think they did.
Interesting.
Okay.
I think
And
one
then
half of the room was like his posters.
Okay.
oh that
So Crash
yeah,
Bash wasn't the titular Barry
there was a
Barrington.
Limp Bizkit poster on each side too, and a Nine Inch Nails, and yeah, all this.
Interesting. I will say the name Barry Barrington is terrible. Strike one on this movie initially is Barry Barrington, and not only is it terrible, but it's terrible that the human's last name is Barrington. Like it's not like that part is made me so mad that like it wasn't just like they adopted fucking Barry and his like adopted name was Barry Barrington. It's like no, these people their last name is Barrington because that's a fucking thing.
That's it. Just worked out that way.
Best
Are we
scene
gonna
in
talk
the
about
movie.
Are we gonna talk about the hero of the film, the brother, who just continues to look at everybody in the movie and be like, "Are you guys fucking nuts? This is a fucking bear."
So I was thinking about that throughout most of the movie, and the only thing I could come up with is that the brother was sort of racist against bears, and everyone else kind of sees bears as just like other people. But he's like, "That's a fucking bear," and everyone's like, "What are you talking about?"
I mean maybe
Because when that other bear, like we've established, Dom and I had spoke about this. We've established there doesn't seem to be that many sentient bears walking around. Besides the country bears, Barry, there was like a handful of background characters who were just bears walking around. And like that first, not that first bear, but the one that played the harmonica at that place where they were filming a music video. Like apparently no one recognized him being a famous country singing bear just working in the background. It's like, wait a minute, you're that guy.
I believe
Because
I believe that was Harry.
No.
I didn't bother learning anybody's names.
Was it? Oh no, was Zeb Zuber the
Zeb
the
Zuber.
one-
Zeb Zuber is the fucking alcoholic.
the honeyholic?
Yeah. I like that whole thing was very confusing to me that they straight up just like, no, this dude's a fucking alcoholic, but he's an alcoholic off honey. So are like humans also drinking honey and getting fucking drunk off of it? Because he's at a
You know
fucking
who they-
bar with
I
Queen
guess.
Latifah
They're at a
being the
bar.
fucking.
You know who
It's
plays
full-
that guy too? The staple guy from Office Space.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
The staple guy from
Stephen
Office Space?
Merchant?
Stephen Root.
Stephen Root.
No, isn't that Root?
Stephen Root. Yeah.
Who's the staple guy from?
Can I have my stapler?
Sure.
The guy from Dodgeball, the old guy with
Yeah.
the sweatband.
He's in a bunch of stuff. I
The
think he was on
glasses.
news radio too, right?
Probably.
He was the voice of Bill Dauterive on King of the Hill.
Yep.
Yeah.
While we're talking about Zeb Zuber and the honey bar,
Mhm.
are we going to talk about how the house band was Brian Setzer?
Yes, I know. I love it. That's like the best thing.
I don't know who that is.
You
don't know who
jump and
Brian
jive
Setzer
and
is?
whale.
Yeah, Jump Jive and Whale.
You gotta jump and jive.
The
Why do
Stray
we
Cat
keep
Strut.
bringing back Jive? Stop it.
Right?
Did he play one
Brenden,
of his
basically,
songs in the
Brenden,
movie?
it's-
No,
like
they
saying
they
he's
did
on
the
stage.
yeah they did the battle.
Yeah, but I don't know if because they did play like actual music in between like certain scenes and stuff.
Yeah, I don't recall.
Like in the Dom was too engrossed that he was like, I need that fucking give me that bear music. I don't need this fucking human shit.
Yeah, none of this garbage.
I looked up the writer of the movie too, because someone would be like, "What the fuck did this guy do after this?" Because this guy's not good at writing.
He knew
And he
that.
did Game Night, so I mean, I got to give him credit because that movie I think is hysterical.
And he got
That's
all
like
his
his
ideas
most-
from Country Bears.
Yeah, right.
Oh.
But honestly, can I tell you the best part of this movie is when they're out to eat, and then the waitress comes over, and they like sexualize this waitress insanely, like with what's
Yep.
like there's tons of shots from behind with like a short skirt for a Disney movie. I was like, this is very strange because they tried to make her like super sexy, and it's so funny because she's like a horrible singer. But that whole scene with like the grandmas starting like with the sax and the trombones and everything, and that entire scene is just like the most ridiculous thing I've
So-
ever seen.
Do you know what that's supposed to be?
No.
It's Aretha Franklin singing "Think" from Blues
Oh,
Brothers.
is it really? Jesus
Yeah,
Christ.
that's the parallel.
Yeah,
I
yeah, that
like
makes
to
sense.
imagine. I like to imagine because the girl had said like, "Oh, I want to be a singer," and clearly she's not a singer because she's working there. But I like to imagine that's everyone's backstory that was in the restaurant at the same time. That's why they all had like choreographed dancing, and all the cooks were like playing the
Yeah, the cooks.
playing
That's
their
like,
stuff like instruments.
something else happens too. I forget. And I was just
So
like,
so
what is
just
going on?
so just ignore that the staff is
Yes.
all in on it because okay, so
Right.
maybe they just rehearse it because whatever.
Yeah.
The old people that get up and start dancing is
That's
ridiculous.
the best part. It's,
The average age of like the person singing in there is like it's got to be like 60.
45, 50. No, yeah, exactly. So
It's-
like, it goes back to once again, who was this fucking movie
Yeah,
made for? Like,
yeah.
I just don't understand.
Couldn't
It
tell
just
you.
doesn't make any sense.
Couldn't tell you. My two favorite things from this movie. Two favorite things. When the movie, I think it might be the very beginning of the movie, where they're playing a show, and I believe, let me just make sure. I believe it's Ted. Who's the first one that he sees?
Ted is the one that they find at like he's the wedding singer.
So then his brother, who's the other?
Fred is the brother.
So that I think he's the one that's the security guard. So he's the
Okay.
first one that gets pulled in. So he's the harmonica one, I believe. I believe it's him that does it. I think it's him. I guess it's irrelevant. But in the opening of the movie, when they're playing that big concert, first of all, that
So good.
so let me set the scene. I bought a house. I've been working on the house the last few days like nonstop. I'm fucking pushed to the limits, exhausted. Pushed to the fucking limits. I've been staying there till like midnight, painting, doing other stuff, ripping up rugs. Last night I was so tired and I knew I had to get up and do shit again there today. I was like, I have to call it at like 9, maybe like 9:30. So I went home, took a long hot shower, and then I was like, fuck, I'm gonna pass out. I get in bed, I'm like, actually I gotta fucking watch this movie. So let me throw this fucking movie on. Jen comes to bed. She's like, oh, what are you putting on? I was like, I gotta watch this movie for tomorrow. and I put it on, and she goes, what the fuck is this? I was like, it's Dom's pick. And she goes, you can't watch this right now. I can't watch this. And I was like, I have to watch it. I have no choice. I can't watch it tomorrow. So I put it on, and the movie opens up, and she's just like, no, I'm gonna have fucking nightmares. I can't watch these fucking bears before I go to bed.
They look like Five Nights at Freddy's. Huh?
They do. I was thinking that too. But the movie opens up with that big concert scene, and I just look at Jen and I go, can you imagine? It's like, hey, Disney's shooting this film in town. Let's go be an extra. And you're just like, you're an extra in the fucking crowd.
I would've
This
been
dumb
jammed.
fucking shit.
I loved the beginning. I really did like the beginning. I was like,
What?
oh man, am I gonna like this movie? No, just because I like the music. Like that's the
The music wasn't terrible throughout the
no.
the
I mean, the music in the beginning just reminded me of classic like 70s, 80s music, you know. And I was like, I'm digging this, you know. But like, obviously, the rest of them.
Todd was fucking tossing up a fucking devil salad. He was like, I love this movie.
Yo, Brennan, pop quiz. The I forget his name in the movie. The guy who like is chauffeuring them around.
The roadie.
Yeah. Do you know who that is?
You're gonna.
That's his name, Rhodey.
His name is
Yeah, but
Rhodey.
you know
Yeah.
Do you know who that is?
I was gonna bring this up.
Oh, okay.
Because I recognized him. Yeah, I know. He's a guy from Lost. And I was like, I said to Jen, I was like, is that the dude from Lost? He's skinnier now, but like, is that the dude from Lost? She's like, oh yeah, it is.
I did the same thing. I had to like Google it.
I looked it up to make sure. Yeah. What a weird cameo, or I guess acting
Right.
role for him. But
that was his role. Yeah.
so the movie opens up with that.
In the bus, they never got him, but the bus.
He
was
came out of the
there.
bus. Yeah, when the
He
bus.
came out of the bus. But was
Him and the chicken lived in the bus
With
for
him.
the last 30 years.
that
the
was
chicken-
just parked in their garage or
Mr.
whatever?
Chicken, right?
Mr. Chicken that turned out to be
Yeah.
a female chicken. But that scene, still haven't gotten to why it's one of my favorite scenes in the movie. One of the only things that I enjoyed was, or I guess kind of also set the scene for what the fuck am I about to watch? When, you said Betterhead? Brett? What's the other one? Not Ted.
Ed and Fred.
Fred. When Fred,
They
I
have
believe.
real names.
I don't know. What,
No one's named Brett.
regardless, one of the bears, I think it is Fred. Fred jumps in the crowd to crowd surf, and
Yep.
when he does that jump, they slow-mo that cut from different angles 3 fucking times. They give him a 3-time slow-mo cut of that. And from that point forward, I was like, this movie is gonna fucking be terrible, because if that's what they're deciding to do here, we got a problem. The other thing that I like.
Why was Queen Latifah in this movie? I still don't understand that.
Hold on, am I the only person that watched the credits?
I watched the credit. I
No,
forget.
I don't
Was
Okay.
was it Exhibit or
Yes,
was
Exhibit shows up in the credits.
What?
Wait, you said why was Queen Latifah in the movie? Fucking Elton John was in this movie.
I know, but
As himself.
I feel like
Elton John is
Elton John always
enormous
does everything.
at this
I know,
point.
but he's just like, yeah.
At least Queen Latifah was probably still on the rise. Like, she was trying to get in movies.
You know what? I was probably thinking that she was already in like Set It Off and all those movies, because she's barely in this movie. But it's probably.
Set
Get
It
the
Off must have come
exposure.
out before this movie. Set It Off must have been early 90s or mid 90s.
I don't know what that was.
I don't fucking know. But
I mean, it doesn't matter, but like.
He hadn't made Taxi yet.
No, definitely not.
there were a lot of interesting cameos in the credits. Exhibit being the one that I was just like, what the? Wyclef Jean was there. Like, I'm just like, what is fucking happening right now? Like, what is
They're
this?
going to be all over the soundtrack.
They were expecting big things.
It was like a behind the music type.
Yes. It was-
thing at
yeah.
during the credits.
Yes. That's why I watched that part of the credits, and I watched that part through the end. And I think the next thing that flashes up is like animatronic, whatever, costume, whatever, this thingies made by Jim Henson Company. And I was like, oh, interesting. The other thing
How
that
about Diedrich Baker getting paid twice for this movie?
Yeah. He was the cop
Once
and he
as
was
a
one of the
cop
bears.
and once as one of the
Yeah.
bears.
Jesus, I didn't even. Yeah, that's crazy.
And
Uh,
the other thing I want to bring up, there was no resolution to that cop like through line, right?
No,
Like
definitely
the
not.
cops just stopped. Like
Mike.
they told the cops like, "Hey, we know where he is. He wasn't kidnapped." They're like, "No, we gotta find him." That's blah, blah, blah. And then that was it.
Mike, hold on. You're really concerned with plot holes in this specific film?
I'm not saying it's a plot hole. I'm just curious. Like they just dropped that entirely. Like it was a through line throughout the film for a bit there.
Yeah, Bob Dylan has a song on the soundtrack for this movie. Like, I just don't understand.
Yeah, I don't know. I
Bella Fleck and the Flecktones.
the father, Barry's father, all I could think every time he was on screen was, who's the boss?
Oh,
Wait.
was he was a professor in that one?
Community, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
I know him from a bunch of things, but
Yeah,
now
he's
I'm
from
like,
everything.
Oh yeah,
like,
he was.
but I can't.
Yeah.
One thing he's in besides Community.
Yeah.
He was.
Steven Tobolowsky. Yeah.
That voice is like the most like. I'll never forget that voice. He's like one of those actors that I can just picture his voice in my head. I could hear it and I'd be like, "Oh, that guy that I don't know his name, but I've seen him in everything."
It's funny to me to see like some of I'm looking at the IMDb cast page right now, and it's funny to me to see like what some of these characters are named and don't have like Stephen Tobolowsky's character is Norbert Barrington, but the wife is just Miss Barrington.
Mom, yeah.
Oh, Groundhog Day is what I know. What's his name from? Oh,
Yep.
You know,
He's,
that's like the biggest one
he's-
probably.
What's his name?
Mm,
I can't remember what his name is from Groundhog
Ned.
Day.
Ned
Ned Ryerson.
Yes. Okay.
The other thing that I really liked about this movie, like this was probably the only thing in the movie that actually made me laugh, and every time it got referenced, it made me laugh because it was just so fucking stupid to me. And I meant to go back and see if it ever gets said out loud, because I hope that it does get said out loud, because I want to hear Christopher Walken say it. I just don't know if he actually does. But the construction or the demolition company that he is using to knock down the Country Bears Hall is called the Slamboni. And every time I see that word on the screen, I like fucking lose it. I'm just like, of course it's called the Slamboni. Like, of course it is.
It is a good name.
Yeah. That Christopher Walken twist was amazing too. Like, see, this movie's better than you give it credit for.
Twist?
It kept me by surprise.
Wait, so Mike, when I had mentioned that I was gonna maybe put this on while I was painting yesterday, was that what you were talking about? That there would be a point where I would just be like derailed and not be able to paint? Was that it?
Oh no, I just figured like in general at any point in time, like
Yeah,
anything
right.
that happened in that film, like that would be like, what is happening here? I feel like that would be the case. I had no particular moment in
Okay,
mind.
all right. Because I was waiting for a specific twist, and I was like, oh, it must be when Christopher Walken's character turns out to be like a even more villain by fucking literally locking them up with a gun. He's just holding a fucking gun. And he has like a
Here's
fucking
the
ammo
follow-up.
belt across
Number
his
one,
chest.
I'm pretty sure a pistol of that caliber was not going to hurt a
So-
No, he
bear.
has
So
darts. He has
yeah,
sleeping
I
darts.
Sleeping darts.
I paused it to look at the vest thing or the thing he was wearing. It looked like sleeping darts, which I guess makes more sense. But still, like, what the fuck is happening right now? And then when you get the reveal that he is, hold on, I wrote this name down because I wanted to just say it out loud. Benny Bogswoggle.
Yeah, right. It's like every name is so ridiculous.
When you find out that because the whole movie he's referred to as Reed Thimble, and then when you find out that he's fucking Benny Bongswoggle, you're like, what the fuck's going on here?
Dedication to like go into real estate knowing that one day maybe you can take down the country bears.
I will
He
say
devoted his life to it.
I will say that I did appreciate two things that were actually good plot setups that did not feel forced in any way. And I will give credit to the people who wrote this movie because both of these things felt genuine and not forced. When Dex is like being a racist son of a bitch to Barry, talking about the birth certificate, and he's showing him the picture of like him with the park ranger or whatever, and then he's like, this is my birth certificate. It's a piece of paper, and he goes, this is yours, and it's like a fucking collar with a tracking device.
Yeah,
like that to me was like, okay, they used that later in a real way, and like it didn't feel forced. Like it felt like the scene that introduced that item wasn't like a forced thing.
Yeah, it could have
I
totally been
honestly
forced.
thought-
It could have been forced, and it wouldn't have even mattered either, though. Like he's like, "Oh yeah, did you forget the brother when he finds like the little tracker thing or whatever?"
Yeah.
I
But you
honestly
can-
thought it was going to come into play earlier. I thought like they were going to use it, like the cops are going to use it to track them down.
Interesting. And then the other thing was
That just shows that the brother didn't care if Barry was found or not.
facts.
Because he's racist.
Fucking jealous.
The other thing, which I'll give credit for here, is when he's not in. I believe it's Big Al. He's not in the Bears, but he's just like at Country Bear fucking ranch, and he's like
Big Al is
groundskeeper.
in the Bears in the show. He's a very important part of the show. I just want to get that on the record.
Oh,
But
what the
in
fuck?
the movie, he's just
underutilized in the movie.
Fine guy.
Underutilized, especially when he has some fucking good lines in the movie.
yeah.
He has some
he's
good
one of
lines.
the best characters in the show too. So, also just while we're on the topic, Zeke is the name of the RV. He is also a character from the Country Bears, the show, and I think they mentioned Trixie at some point. She is also one of the members of the Country Bears.
I believe she does make it to the stage at the end, but in the movie she seems to just be Tennessee's.
sing a song.
He's just like Tennessee's reason why he's not in the band anymore. But you got Big Al, taking care of the place, blah blah blah, and he just makes a point that the grass is important. Don't drive on the grass. Don't stand on the grass. And then shortly after, fucking Rhodey speeds off on the bus, ruins the grass. And you think that's it. You think that's just the joke. That's it. But no. It is saved also later as like I appreciated this because it seemed like at the end when they show up to Country Bear Hall, there's no one in the crowd, and you clearly see a money exchange between what's his name?
Their agent or whatever.
Yeah, I had his name right here. Rip Holland. You see a money exchange between Rip Holland and Christopher Walken, and I'm assuming Reed Thimble, Benny Bongswoggle, paid Rip Harrington, Rip Thimble, not Rip Harrington. Not Rip Thimble either. Rip Holland, to like not promote the show. And that is what happened, it seems. But then Big Al's like, what do you mean? Aren't you guys going to start the show? With the fucking crowd right here. I told them wait out back. They can't stand on my fucking grass. Fucking good plot. Good, like, not good plot. Stop. Good little, like, introduction early of a thing that will be used later in a meaningful way. And I appreciate it.
Diedrich Bader also brought it up the first time he talks to Big Al.
Yeah, he was very
yes.
well knowledge about
He
grass.
says, "What is this?"
Oh,
and then he
yes.
says, like, Kentucky bluegrass or something.
Yeah. So there you go. You might think that you get the two grass jokes out of the way. You get the ruin the grass. You get the cop cares about the grass. There we go.
Speaking of the promoter, and this is a question that doesn't actually have an answer or need an answer. They call him up to be like, yeah, promote that we're going to be doing a
Mike's
thing.
the fucking plot hole guy.
Right.
So he's like sitting at like a Staples or whatever, like sitting at their like display desk or whatever. But how did they call him?
Mike's
They call
the
him
fucking
on the Staples phone.
Mike with the
They
fucking
have-
plot holes.
I don't know.
It's just wild because like
some of the stuff was his. Some of the stuff was his.
it's wild to me that like movies like this don't get made anymore. I feel like there's not like many movies like
I
the
wonder
90s
why.
and early, no, obviously, but I'm saying like the and I'm not just talking about like Disney movies. The early 90s, 2000s had some of like the worst movies ever. Like, and I feel like we don't see like constant like big budget movies pumped out anymore that like
I
do
think on
like
both, yeah.
You
Like
just
on both
don't-
ends of the spectrum, like for kids and for like the raunchy rated R adult comedies.
Yep.
We don't
yeah,
make
'cause
those
there's tons of
anymore,
those
and we
actually,
don't
yeah.
we don't make a bunch of like the weird kid comedy movies anymore either.
Yeah, because
I
we
feel like,
get
yeah.
The movies are still being made. They're just dying. Like,
I feel like they're doing better though, or they're doing.
They're probably just going straight to like streaming services, so we're not
yeah,
directly seeing it.
yeah, that's probably more accurate. They're just fluffing out like Netflix and Disney Plus and other things that have a
and
A
that gives
kid
them
audience.
a better opportunity
Throw it in.
to get views, I guess.
probably. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, this movie was bad. Like, I don't have really anything good to say about it. Did anyone look at the Rotten Tomatoes score? Does anyone know what this is?
Like 30, it's
Yeah.
33, I think.
It's 30.
I'm surprised it was that high. That seems like kind of high.
I don't know.
For,
I mean,
like that movie.
I would like this does not seem like something that, or I guess Dom would probably be the only one. Dom, have you seen this movie prior to picking it? Like, have you seen this movie in the past?
Yeah, I probably saw it in theaters.
No, you fucking didn't. No, you fucking didn't.
Yeah, I'm sure I saw this movie in theaters.
A young 13-year-old Dom, said, "Here's."
I saw this movie and I saw Brother Bear in theaters that you keep referencing this film as.
I didn't say that once in this episode. I made sure not. I did not.
Are you sure you didn't start the episode as calling it Brother Bear?
I think I said it
Or was that
before we recorded.
Okay.
Purposely joking. It is funny because after I finished watching The Country Bears, the suggested next thing to watch
Is
on
Brother
Disney
Bear.
Plus is Brother
Yeah.
Bear. Yeah. But I don't know. I mean, this movie was fucking bad. Like, I don't even think there's going to be like a nugget that I take away from this. Maybe Slamboni. Like, maybe Slamboni will stay in.
Slamboni is a good name.
It's a good, like
Yeah.
Slamboni's great. I really need to look and see if he says that word at all. Because if he doesn't say that word, it's a fucking waste.
I mean, Christopher Walken saying Slamboni sounds like it would be hilarious, and I
That-
feel like it would stick in my head.
That's why so I don't think he says it though. I didn't notice it until I saw it. I think either on the poster that they
It was
put
on the
up,
truck.
and it's also on the truck. I will say also Christopher Walken, his car, the hood ornament is a Slamboni, so that's a plus. He's got a
I like
Slamboni
how we're just
wiggling.
referring to wrecking balls as Slambonis now.
Fucking,
That's gonna be the takeaway from Country Bears. Is
I'm
that we
fine
all
with it.
call wrecking balls fucking Slambonis.
Another quick thing I want to add is that I don't know why they did it. If maybe it was just for this one gag, but when Diedrich Bader shows up as the cop. I'm like, that's a weird fake-looking mustache, and I feel like it's only there just to get washed off in the car wash later on.
Yeah,
Yep.
it is very bizarre.
Yep.
Um, there's also a point in an early montage when they show the Bears breaking up, where there's a newspaper headline that just flat out says Zuber's sticky honey problem. And I read that like when that flashed on the screen, I read it out
I
loud
don't think I
because I
even
was like,
noticed
"What the
that.
fuck is happening right now? Like, what is this movie? Like, what am I about to watch?" I'm just looking at my notes right now because I like to take like just little like not even full sentence notes when I watch these movies just to
I should
see.
have taken notes.
You got to do it. It's easy. Just fucking whip out your phone because I'm telling you, like little things that just cross your mind as you're watching it. They're sometimes they're things worth referencing. Like I also wrote in here, I wrote Dex's hair fucking sucks because it does. Like it's just
It was the early
That was
2000s.
early
It was,
2000s. Yeah.
that's just how we looked.
and I get that, but it's just bad. Um, I also want to point out that Zeb hangs out at a bar in Nutville. I just thought it was funny.
Dex's hair was like literally that style though back then. Like they
Yeah,
were
that
just
was
like
the that was the
just like
fucking the
that was the
NSYNC
drummer.
Backstreet Boys
Yeah,
fucking yeah.
yeah.
Um, there's a point where I believe Reed is talking to Big Al, and he turns around, and when the camera pans back, doesn't need to be said. Literally could have just been a visual gag, but no. For some reason, Big Al from far away says, "Hey, I'm chubby, but I'm quick," and then just opens the door and walks inside. Didn't need to be said. Don't know why they said that. Didn't need to be said. Um, I wrote down in all caps the Slamboni because
Very important.
can't forget that. I also just wrote down the word Benny Bogswoggle. Like I didn't, no other context, just wrote down that name because I didn't want to forget it. And I will say, okay, one other thing that I did like from this movie, at the end, when they're fucking tearing the house down, when they're fucking, putting on the show, I did enjoy this. Just I liked the visual of it. Like I wish it was just utilized in another movie that was good. I liked the fact that they literally rocked the poster off the fucking thing. Like the nails came out because they fucking rocked the house so hard. Like they were just crushing it. I did enjoy that.
So at the end of the film, Dex is standing next to a dude that has wicked long hair, and he's like, "Do you know who that is? That's my brother." Do you guys remember that happening?
Yeah.
The dude that he's talking to is Jess Harnell. Jess Harnell is the voice of Wacko Warner, and he's a popular voice actor. He is also the voice of Crash Bandicoot.
What the fuck? That's so bizarre. I wonder why they've put Crash in there
we
twice.
Got the Crash Bash.
Yeah, but it's so weird.
Yeah. Dex, you know who Dex? The Dex is the voice of Hogar from Iron Giant. I don't know if you guys have ever seen the Iron Giant.
I have not seen it.
I don't think I've sat through the entire thing.
I was actually thinking of
check it out.
making that my pick, to be honest with you, because I think
It's supposed to be a good movie.
Really fucking good. It's a really fucking good movie.
I also believe that
Vin
same.
Diesel's there.
Ooh, I also believe that
he's
same
like-
guy. That same guy, Dom, is also in the bar at Nutville when they're about to start the showdown or whatever the fuck it's called, the playoff. I'm pretty sure he's at the bar because someone at the bar stands up and goes, like, "Whoa, Country Bears!" and I'm pretty sure it's him. There's also this little shit like this is what made me laugh is get to the final concert scene. They start playing, and in my head, I said it to Jen. I was like, "Can you imagine you're an extra in this scene? Like this is what you signed up to do is go be in the fucking country fucking festival," and they're like, "Yo, just act like you're feeling the music. Like really, you're excited, you're pumped up." There's one person in the front row that just goes fucking bonkers, jumping up and down, just going absolute fucking. He's going absolutely Benny Bonswoggle, like he's fucking going for it. And I'm just like, what the fuck? Like no one else is going that bananas. It's just this one guy.
He's their second biggest fan behind Barry.
I will say some more context for myself with this movie specifically. I tried to watch it last night, but I was too tired and I didn't want to fall asleep during the movie, so I turned it off about halfway through, and I woke up this morning at 7 a.m. and finished the movie in bed. I waited until Jen woke up, and when she
To
woke
make
up,
her watch it.
when she so wait, hold on. I tortured Jen with this movie. Last night when we were watching it, she like got out of bed to get a drink, and I paused the fucking movie. And she heard me pause it, and she goes, "Did you really just fucking pause this shit for me?" I'm like, "Yeah, you have to, if I have to watch it, you have to fucking watch it."
Right.
And when I waited for her to wake up this morning, I when she woke up, I was like, "Can you do me a favor?" She's like, "What?" I'm like, "Can you pass me the remote?" And she's like, "Why?"
Have you guys watched all the movies together, or just?
No, not all of them. No. But she's like, "We could be watching Ted Lasso right now." I'm like, "Yeah, we'll watch Ted Lasso after. We gotta watch this first. I can't watch any other time today." So that's committed to fucking Country Bears.
There you go.
No sleep till fucking Nutville. All right.
My only other couple things were the TV reporter is the voice of Freakazoid in the film.
It's so weird. So many
And-
fucking people.
Right.
And when Tennessee and Trixie are singing in the bar,
Mhm.
the people that they pan to at the bar are Bonnie Raitt and Don Henley, who are Trixie and Tennessee's singing voices.
So weird. I mean, I guess that makes sense.
I mean,
That like that they
there is a lot
give
of star
cameos
power
to.
in this movie.
Yeah,
Is it
I
the
mean
lowest
they.
grossing Disney
For no
movie
reason. Huh?
Is that the lowest grossing Disney movie ever?
No, I
As far as,
think
like,
we I
goes?
think we talked about this on Dom's last pick. Maybe one of Dom's picks. We did pull up a list of.
Oh, we did. Okay.
I'll pull it up again just so we have reference. Lowest grossing Disney.
Oh, I
It's
remember.
not even the biggest
Movies.
flop.
It was It was either Mars Needs Moms, or it
Oh,
was.
it was. That's what it was.
Okay. It wasn't John Carter, right?
No,
That's one
John
of them.
Carter lost a ton of money.
According to Screen
I
Rant,
think
this was published last year in January, and this is according to Box Office Mojo. The 10 lowest grossing animated movies. I guess that doesn't really help
does
us.
not include Country Bears.
Let me see. 14 worst performing Disney. This is the list that we looked at, actually. This is from 2016, so it could be not up to date. But we got 14, Prince of Persia. 13, Sorcerer's Apprentice. 12, Home on the Range. Return to Oz. Yeah, some of these movies have, like, not...
No, they used a lot of money and did not make it back.
Yeah. Return to Oz.
Sorcerer's Apprentice is one that I kind of want to use as a pick. It's not based on a Disney ride, but it's Jay
Yeah.
Baruchel as the main character.
And Nick Cage is there, right, too?
Yeah.
I think I watched that movie. I think I did.
Meet the Deedles is number 10. Around the World in 80 Days is 9. Treasure Planet is 8. John Carter is 7. The Lone Ranger is 6. Tomorrowland, is that based on the ride? Or
It's based on
the
the
area?
area of the
Yeah.
park. I can't pick that. That was going to be my fun fact. That was going to be my pick for last month. And I decided against it. I was going to use it as my next pick. It has been removed from Disney Plus.
Why? Does it contain like a bad scene or something?
We don't know.
I've
I
watched.
think we
that
just don't
movie.
like Brad Bird anymore.
Yeah. Oh, maybe.
Number 4 is The Black Cauldron. Number 3 is Fantasia. Number 2 is The Alamo. Wow, that one had a budget of 107 and the box office was 25. Yeesh.
What year was that?
2004.
I don't even know what it is.
According to this blurb, 2004 was a brutal year for Disney. Home on the Range came out, which was on this list. Around the World in 80 Days, which was also on this list, came out, and The
John
Alamo.
Carter should have been around there, right?
Yikes.
I think John Carter was later
2006?
than that.
And Mike was
Oh,
correct.
2000
Mars Needs Moms is the top. Again, according to this 2016 Screen Rant article. So could be incorrect or not up to date or whatever, what have you. Anyone have anything else they want to add about The Country Bears? The ride or the film?
If you're at Disney, go see The Country Bears. If not, just to keep it alive. It's an original Walt Disney World attraction.
Yeah.
See, I would
So it
definitely
is
go. I
50
would
years
definitely
old
go
this
to it.
year.
Yeah. I mean, I will say this, like, these shitty movies aside, like I don't. If you're at Disney, I feel like there's not really a lot of bad attractions. Like they're all worth
No.
seeing at least once. I would say.
Yeah.
Like
I mean,
So
the
I feel
Country
like
Bears is definitely dated. It's again, it's 50 years old,
yeah,
so
yeah.
you're going to see a 50-year-old like stage show, but
yeah,
it's good, like for what it is.
yeah.
I
I
was
think if you're
watching.
there, it's worth seeing stuff like this.
I feel like every sentence I start is like I was watching a TikTok, but I watched a TikTok today of someone posting people waiting in the Magic Kingdom for the parade, and I like literally had anxiety looking at it. Like no one's wearing masks, and it was like hundreds of people on top of each other, just like piled in, and I'm like, dear
Yikes.
God. I was having like anxiety just watching it. I'm like,
Yeah, I
I
can't
want
do
to go to
that.
Disney so bad. I'm like,
I know.
I think once Logan's like a year and a half now. Once he's 3 and Liam's like 7, I think that'll be a perfect time.
I just want to go to Galaxy's Edge so bad. I mean, I haven't been to Disney in a long
Yeah,
time, but
same.
like I
I'm
want
a
to go to
big Star
Galaxy's
Wars
Edge so
guy,
bad.
and I actually really want to go to Galaxy's Edge, though. Ironically enough.
I would love to
I don't
stay in
think
that hotel if it wasn't the most
Yeah.
ridiculously
yeah.
expensive thing for no fucking reason.
Hey, let's see in 3 years where we're at. 2, 3 years.
I like the concept of the hotel is very cool. The
It's
price
awesome.
tag is not justified in my opinion.
No.
You think that price will come down, Dom?
Probably not. So
Yeah.
what
It'll be a new Star Wars
what
movie by the time.
what isn't I don't know, what isn't like advertised as much as the just seeing the price is that park admission is included in that. So you are also paying for park admission. You are also paying for your food for your stay.
Do you have to
You're
buy it like
charging
that
by
though?
the room. Yes.
So what if you're
Because
someone that has
because it's all part of the experience. You're literally paying for the experience.
but what if you're like someone that has like an annual pass or something? You just get boned. You have to pay again for another pass.
Yeah, I don't know how that factors in. I don't know if there's like a discount for annual pass holders.
Interesting. Is Galaxy's like I don't like the process for Disney could be different because I haven't been in so long. But you do you buy separate passes for the parks or do you just buy a pass that can go to everywhere normally?
I'm confused as to
Like
what you're asking.
if I was gonna head down there, like if I buy a pass for the time that I'm there, is the pass like you buy a pass if you just want to go to like a specific park, or do you buy a pass that goes everywhere?
You can buy a pass you buy a Disney World pass and you get into a park, or you could buy a park hopper, which allows you to go
Okay,
park to
yes,
park.
yes, yes.
I just looked for a family of 3. It's $900 a night, or something like that.
For the
Yeah,
Star Wars
that's
hotel.
crazy. Yeah, and then but you're not factoring in so many other things. Like you're gonna go to all the shops there and everything. It's probably like $1,600 a day, realistically.
You're
With like
spending
everything.
$700 on
Because I don't
extra
think
stuff a day.
well, I think it
Todd's
said it was
fucking balling.
6,000.
Fuck,
It said it
Todd,
was
can you adopt
6,000
me? Can
for
I go with you?
no. It said it was like 6,000 for a week, and I feel like
It's only a 3-day experience. That's the other thing, is that it keeps being advertised like strangely by people that are trying to make it sound wicked expensive. I'm pretty sure they
Okay.
only offer it as a 3-day experience right now.
Oh, so you'd have to go to another hotel after. That's kind
Yeah.
of cool actually. Because you probably wouldn't want to be there for
It's
if you're there
it's
for a week
literally
or two.
like they're literally putting you into like a
Cheap
movie
rooms.
or a
Yeah,
episode
no,
of
that's
like
cool.
a
Yeah.
Star Wars show. Like you are like it's an experience. It's not I don't know. It's not I'm not trying to defend the price tag. It's still like a
No,
lot.
I
But
mean,
you're paying for actors to be like part of this experience with you, and I don't know.
yep. No,
Yeah, like I said, the
Probably won't be
concept
able
is
to do
cool.
it for a few years at least, but
It's at some point I would definitely like to do it. So
like
Yeah.
kids, we're not getting a house. We're going to fucking stay at the Star Wars hotel.
fuck it. They speaking since we're on the theme park tangent, they're I don't know if they plan on doing this in the Orlando one, but they are expanding already Super Mario World in Japan to add in a Donkey Kong area, which
yeah,
is pretty dope.
there was talks about doing that as soon as the
Voiced by
Mario
Seth
thing
Rogen.
opened.
Yeah, voiced by Seth Rogen. They're one of the first.
Unfortunately, the Orlando, I forget what it's called, Universal World. Whatever the park that they were going to build for that was going to have Nintendo as part of it got delayed last year, so I don't know what the status of that is.
I would ideally, the next time that I go to Disney would be to like go when Super Nintendo World is open, so I can
Yeah,
just do
that'd be
both at the
amazing.
same trip, because
Right.
that would be ideal. So the first world in Donkey Kong Country is called Jungle Japes, and now I just want like Seth Rogen's Jungle Vapes or something stupid. Anyways, anything else?
Oh, we're gonna get a sick minecart ride in Donkey Kong World.
Oh, absolutely. It'll definitely
Oh,
be a
let's
minecart ride.
go. Yeah, definitely.
All right, that's worth the price of admission right there.
Yeah, right.
If you fall, you die.
I'm okay with that.
Okay.
I'd pay extra for that.
For the experience. Anything else about the Country Bears?
Nah, I got nothing.
We should do two things. Not right now, but we should do two things. We should, since Dom has a theme, for as long as Dom's movie picks are this theme, we should do it for his things, which is we should rate his movies, like in a list.
Against each other.
Yeah.
My theme might change for next year. I haven't
That's fine.
decided yet.
Trust me, that's fine.
It'll be another theme, but
Just a different one.
different.
The other, I mean, I don't know. Going into 2022,
Tom's next theme is the Criterion Collection.
listen,
Opposite direction.
Go completely opposite.
going into 2022, the PTC Movie Club might evolve in a few different ways. I know we had a few conversations about some stuff, and it's got my brain kind of moving in a direction where maybe there's some opportunities for us to do some interesting things. So we'll see. We'll see what happens with PTC Movie Club next year. That being said, we should probably also, just for funsies at some point, just kind of like take all of the picks and kind of rate them against each other to see who has like
Yeah, that'd be cool.
who has
Yeah,
picked
do
what
like a-
and just kind of put them in like a little bracket just to see what's up.
We're not getting off the podcast, so Hereditary's number one, but that's fine. Yeah.
I mean, sure.
When will you do this? Are the John Wicks going to be together? Or are you going to?
Oh shit! I
Like
forgot about
individually.
that.
They're gonna have to be individually, Mike. I mean, they're their own thing.
Yeah,
Because
no, they definitely have to be individual,
we
yeah.
would only ever, I guess, make them one thing if we ever started to do other series. So then, like, you know, if we did Lord of the Rings or something, just as an example, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you wouldn't want to rank. We wouldn't want to rank all the Disney park ones together because then it wouldn't like not even be a contest.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's you get the Park Hopper movie pass. Like,
Okay.
that being said, before we wrap things up, Todd, going into October, is your
Yo,
pick?
let's go.
Do you know what you want, or
So like I was very torn because there was a list of movies I had, and then I told you earlier that I was like, I kind of want to. I mean, if you have October, I mean, I feel like you almost have to in some ways. Especially you're from Salem, you know, you need some spooky stuff out there. And,
we're not watching Hubie Halloween? So stop.
so
Ooh.
funny. No, we're not. But we're going to be watching
Wait,
Practical Magic.
Wait, hold on.
With Sandra Bullock and
Wait, is that really what you're picking?
no, that's not what I'm picking.
Has anyone else watched Hubie Halloween?
No, I refuse to watch it.
We should probably also just watch that just because.
He's a water boy and Little Nicky mixed together, right?
It's a horrible movie. It's bad. Like, it is a terrible fucking movie. And
hate
I
the
don't want to
scenes
rewatch
that
it.
in every one of his movies.
I don't want to rewatch it, but if the group wants to watch that in addition to Todd's pick, I will watch it again.
I'm a Herbie. I don't have a. I don't have a.
It is a terrible movie. I've said it before and I will say it again. This guy came to Salem to film a fucking Halloween movie. It could have been the easiest fucking layup. You could have did the bare minimum, and potentially made like a cult classic Halloween movie that would have got you just forever money, like forever
Right,
money.
like, get some decent writers out. You know,
Bare
do
minimum,
something to-
bare minimum. You filmed it here. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
like bare minimum, and you didn't.
Bare minimum.
I think he knows that. Like, I think he knows that he's fucking on Netflix and like.
I mean,
he's going to do well regardless. And
I don't know if they're gonna do well regardless. I think he probably just has
They
that
do well.
contract. It doesn't matter what fucking
people
movie he
love
puts
Adam
out.
Sandler, and I don't get me wrong, I like Adam Sandler. I'm just not a fan of most of his movies, but
I like putting his movies on and just completely spacing out. Like I put Grown Ups on earlier and just
Listen,
I like half paid attention.
Listen.
I've never seen Grown Ups ever.
PTC
The
movie.
first one was okay.
Spoiler alert: PTC Movie Club for 2022 is just we're watching all of the Adam Sandler movies and ranking them.
All right.
Oh boy, that's gonna be
No,
a, it's
no
gonna be
way.
a rough.
When
No
year.
way.
how hold on. This is I'm gonna hold on. Let me
You gonna pull up a list of them?
hold
I'll
on.
stop at Mr. Deeds.
watching
Airheads is
the
my
first
no.
date?
No,
Airheads.
anger management.
Airheads, I think, is
Crazy
my
Nights.
favorite.
I actually really like anger management just because Jack Nicholson's in it.
Oh fuck, we fucking just missed it. Fuck. I wish I saw this last year. Happy Madison Productions is 21 years old. If we fucking
Ooh.
caught that on the 20,
Oh, the 20th,
20th anniversary,
Yeah.
oh man, we could have had some fun. Maybe we'll revisit for the 25th anniversary.
Damn.
Speaking of, we do need to do Shrek at some point before the year's over.
Oh, God.
Todd, do you have a pick or no? What do you want to do?
Yeah, so I just wanted to. So have you guys all watched? And this isn't my pick, but have you guys all seen Scream? You've all watched Scream before?
Yeah.
I've
At some
watched the
point.
first
It's
one.
been a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I think I'm gonna go. Which is a Halloween movie. I'm gonna go with Donnie Darko because I want. It's a movie. I'm not gonna even let people pick. I'm just gonna pick it. I'm going Donnie Darko. It's
I had.
Why don't
a
we
huge
Why don't we
cinema
go
movie watch.
both Darko films? Have
No,
we all
no,
watched
no,
Yes,
no.
Darko?
no,
Why?
because that's not even connected. It's not even the same writer. It's not even the
I
same
know, it's
director.
not.
Todd
It's just like-
Todd wants to pick Scream because Scream was written by the same guy that wrote Dawson's Creek.
Kevin Williamson. But
Instead,
yeah,
he
Scream's
he
a great
picked
movie.
Donnie Darko because he
Scream-
loves Jake Gyllenhaal.
Scream got me back into horror.
Oh
movies.
fuck,
Like,
Mike, you're right. Todd has been secretly just making us watch
Oh,
Jake
yeah.
Gyllenhaal movies. This motherfucker.
yeah, there you go.
All right, we locking it in. That's the pick.
Yeah, locking in as Donnie Darko.
Is it IE or yeah? Right.
Oh wait, we also have Donkey Kong in that movie.
Oh yeah, he is in that movie. I forgot. Yeah.
Oh shit.
Shut up.
You know what movie I was gonna pick if it wasn't October was. Have you guys ever seen the movie Warrior with It's about MMA.
I didn't see it. Yeah,
Oh my God,
I wanted
it's
to. I
an
forgot about it.
amazing movie, and I hate that shit. I don't even.
Was
give a
that the
shit
Tom
about any
Hardy
of that.
movie?
Yes, it's so good. That was gonna be that and The Long Kiss Goodnight was gonna be another one I was gonna throw in there.
When are you gonna make us
That's
watch
like a-
Nightcrawler? Let's just be honest.
I just watched that myself recently. It was really good, but I'm not gonna make you guys watch that movie.
Is this movie scary? I've never seen it.
It's not
You've never
scary,
seen
it's
Donnie
kind of
Darko?
like-
No, because I watched The Country Bears instead.
That's gonna be your go-to thing now.
Yes,
No, you made me watch Haunted Mansion.
exactly. Mike made me watch Mission Impossible 4. Like
Right.
that's where we're
And I'd
at.
stick by that. I'd do it again.
That movie was not terrible, but I'll tell you one thing: not even fucking close to John Wick. John Wick is so good, so fucking good. Fuck Tom Cruise.
The man of focus.
Fine, we'll do Fallout next.
Great. Now Mike's gonna make us watch. Mike's gonna make us watch all the Mission Impossible movies out of order.
Order in like a completely random order.
This is the fucking
The-
machete the machete order.
It all leads up to when the most recent one will come out. Of course, by that point, you've only watched maybe 3 of them.
It's the
And again,
Desire
Out
in
of
a-
order.
in a strange order, yeah.
the
in a strange order.
Desire order. All right, there we go. The PTC Movie Club pick for October is here. We're already in October, so if you want to listen to us talk about Donnie Darko, there you have it. Todd has a secret crush on a guy that doesn't bathe because he thinks bathing is bad. So
Yeah, I mean, I feel like those are the only 2 movies I'm a huge fan of his, and I don't really know what else he's even been in.
what do you mean? You picked Prisoner
Prisoner and Donnie Darko.
and Donnie Darko. You
Is
love
there something
love him as fucking Mephisto in Far From Home.
No, I didn't.
I said Mephisto on
He's good
purpose.
As
He's fine.
Mysterio.
I liked him. No, there was
fine.
Mike. Did we watch a third movie that fucking Jake Gyllenhaal was in? I thought we did.
I could have
He was-
sworn we did.
He was bonkers in Jarhead.
Yeah, but that movie's kind of just bad though. Like,
It wasn't a great movie, but he was bonkers. Like,
Oh, he was in Brothers. He was good in Brothers.
yeah,
With
Wait, did we watch Brothers?
no.
I could have sworn we watched a third movie that had him in it.
We did not watch Brokeback Mountain, correct?
No.
I just do that my own time.
I don't remember that.
Brokeback Mountain, Nightcrawler, Southpaw, Prisoners, The Guilty, Donnie Darko, Spider-Man, Love and Other Drugs. I have seen that movie. Prince of
have not.
Persia. Does he play the Prince of Persia? Is that who he is in his
Yes.
movies?
Yeah.
Yep.
Are there more than one of them?
I think I think only one movie came out, and if two movies came out, I don't think he was.
Okay.
In
The
in that
principal.
movie, yeah.
Is he the lead actor in The Day After Tomorrow?
He's
Yes.
the lead. Well, yeah, he is. But who played his dad in it? Was it Dennis Quaid? It was like one of those disaster films where you're following three different groups or whatever, but they're like.
Damn,
all
I should
related.
took. I have one more Jake Gyllenhaal movie I would throw into my mix if I ever had to pick a movie down the line. Zodiac. I don't know if you guys ever saw
Zodiac.
that movie.
I haven't seen that.
Zodiac is
supposed
one
to
of
be
those
good, though.
movies Zodiac is one of those movies that back when DVD rental places were closing, I would just, or the flea market, I would just buy DVDs all the time, and it's been sitting there, never got around to watching it.
It's so good, and Robert Downey Jr. is so good in it. Everyone's good in it though. It's like a really good movie.
I have seen Bubble Boy.
Yo,
I
I
saw
have
Bubble
not seen
Boy, yeah.
Beetlejuice is in Bubble Boy.
I
Anyways,
saw Source Code. I didn't care for Source Code.
I actually like Source Code. I mean,
Source
I
Code.
don't know.
Well, I don't know. I can't say it correctly. Source Code just pissed me off by the end of it because it didn't make sense.
does anything ever make sense? That's the real question, Mike. All right, I think this is a good time to cut the show, but thank you all so much for listening to this week's episode 279 of the Pass Controller Podcast. If you're a friend of the show, fan of the show, want to help support the show, you can do that in a few different ways. You can go to passcontroller.threadless.com, becoming buying something sick for your wardrobe, or I don't know. I usually do Patreon first, so I fucking threw myself way off. Buying yourself some 6 swag, go to patreon.com/passcontrol, become a patron, subscribe to the show on any podcast platform, subscribe to us on Twitch at twitch.tv/passcontroller, or just share the show with a friend. Follow us on social media, leave a review on Apple Podcasts. All those things very beneficial. They help a lot. So do those if you have the time and or the money to do so. If you want to keep the conversation up with us in our community, you can join our Discord server. If you want to follow along with what we got going on and the dumb things we talk about, you can find me at bgroom. You can find Mike at _Mycopath. You can find Todd at Toddy_by_nature. You can find Dom at PTC _1littlespark. And thank you all so much for listening to this week's episode